Okay, listen to this quote. AI has learned to converse. Now it must learn to convert. That's from Rezolve AI CEO Daniel M. Wagner. And honestly, it really makes you stop and think, right? We've all played with the chatbots, and we know AI can talk. But the massive, multi-million-dollar question keeping retail executives up at night is, can it actually sell? Today, we're looking at a fundamental shift happening right now in enterprise AI, moving from generalized chit-chat to razor-sharp, revenue-driving conversion.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down a massive development in the artificial intelligence landscape, Rezolve AI's launch of their proprietary brainpowa commerce-tuned models directly inside Microsoft Foundry. We're going to unpack exactly how AI is evolving from a generic conversational tool into a targeted intelligent selling machine, and why major global brands are racing to build what are being called commerce copilots.
Section 1. The Elite Table. Let's dive into this. Microsoft Foundry is the premier staging ground for enterprise AI, and its roster of foundational model providers is a highly exclusive club. We're talking the absolute heavyweights of the industry: OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta, xAI, and DeepSeek. And now, sitting right alongside them at the elite table is Rezolve AI. But what makes this so fascinating is that Rezolve isn't there to compete on, writing poetry or summarizing your emails. They're bringing a highly specific, unique capability to Azure that they call Commerce Superintelligence. And Microsoft? They absolutely agree. Jason Grieve, Microsoft's corporate vice president and AI partner Catalyst, explicitly points out that AI Foundry was built to bring specialized models to enterprise customers. Microsoft recognizes that while massive, generalized models are amazing, enterprise retail customers desperately need models trained specifically for commerce. They want AI that deeply, inherently understands the business of selling. Section 2, Conversing versus Converting. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. There is a stark contrast between these two approaches. On one hand, you have your general-purpose models. They are great at generic chat, sure, but they completely lack a focus on buying intent. To get them to act like a salesperson, you have to use incredibly complex prompt engineering, and even then, they can easily get derailed. On the other hand, we have Rezolve's brainpowa models. These are purpose-built from the ground up for commerce intent. They don't just talk, they orchestrate real-time tool calls, meaning they can actually check inventory, process a return, or add an item to a cart. And they do it using a brand-aligned voice natively, without you having to constantly trick the AI into doing its job. So what does this actually mean for global merchants? It means they're no longer limited to just slapping a generic LLM onto their website. They can now build true commerce copilots. These are specialized AI agents deployed directly and securely on Microsoft Azure. They fully integrate into existing enterprise ecosystems, like Microsoft Dynamics 365, and they're explicitly designed to understand user intent, orchestrate the necessary actions, and ultimately drive that conversion. It's a total game changer. Section 3, Measuring Commerce Superintelligence. Now, this kind of paradigm shift requires an entirely new way to measure success. Rezolve AI benchmarks their models against a very specific rule of three, their core commerce pillars. First up, the sales closing rate. Is the AI actively optimizing the path from a customer discovering a product to actually pulling out their credit card? Second, clarification quality. This one is huge. Instead of a bot just saying, "I don't understand," a commerce copilot asks precise, timely questions to figure out exactly what you want, stripping all that friction out of the buying process. And third, product presentation timing. It's not just about throwing a catalog at the user. It's about surfacing the exact right product at the exact moment of highest consumer intent. This ensures the AI behaves like a top-tier human sales agent. And to guarantee these aren't just theoretical metrics, these models undergo rigorous benchmarking through real human evaluations. Rezolve ensures the tone, the timing of that product presentation, and the sheer accuracy align perfectly with what a brand expects. They achieve this because brainpowa is trained on real retail interactions and validated against Rezolve's own commerce-specific golden datasets. This is all about guaranteeing practical, real-world retail outcomes. No fluff, just results.
Section 4, Under the Hood, the 3 production models.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how they've structured the rollout. Rezolve has tiered this into 3 distinct, production-ready models to fit exact enterprise needs. First, you have their medium tool calling model. This is your workhorse for agentic workflows. It's the one actively orchestrating tools in real time during a multi-turn sale. Then there's their large conversational model. This is the high-performance engine, perfect for deep, multi-turn commerce and heavy catalog enrichment. And finally, their medium conversational model. This is the highly efficient option optimized for real-time commerce, customer support, and quick dialogue. Basically, you get to choose the exact right engine for your specific use case. And why does this specific architecture matter so much to retail tech leaders? Well, because it's truly enterprise grade. The compact nature of these models dramatically reduces response latency, and we all know that in retail, a slow bot is literally a lost sale. It also significantly improves the overall economics, lowering the inference cost per interaction at a global scale. Furthermore, for organizations dealing with strict governance and data residency laws, these models can be deployed entirely within private Azure virtual networks, or VNets. So it's secure, it's compliant, and it's highly cost-effective.
Section 5, AI that actually sells. At the end of the day, everything we've talked about boils down to scalable revenue generation. The promise of Rezolve's brainpowa on Microsoft Foundry is twofold, helping retailers actively increase their revenue through intelligent conversion while simultaneously reducing operational overhead. And because this seamlessly integrates with Microsoft 365 Copilot and Dynamics 365, the specialized commerce intelligence isn't just stuck in a little chat window on a website. It spans your entire business ecosystem, from customer engagement all the way through sales and back-end service operations.
Which brings us to the most important question you can ask yourself right now. Seriously, take a look at your current digital strategy. Look at the generative AI you've deployed or are planning to deploy. Ask yourself, is your enterprise AI just chatting or is it actually closing the sale? The era of conversational AI laid the groundwork for sure, but the era of the Commerce Copilot has officially arrived. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I highly encourage you to take a closer look at your own AI strategy through the lens of pure conversion. See you next time.